Welcome to the Diary with Mr. CV. I'm back, and I'm back with another one. I'm going to read a rhyme by one of the students that I used to teach. So Mr. Shawali, that's my surname, I am Mr. Shawali. It says, he's the best ever teacher, just like a speaker. Very good, how he stood, sometimes shouts, that's what it's about. He's always smiling, not so tiring, he always shines, that's the lines. Good at geography, I'm not sure about that one, but just like a choreography, he's the best, that's right, in the West. When we are sad, he's never mad, looks at all our books. I think our homie cooks. Well, nah, I just ordered a lot of food from, I don't even know, from Nando's or something. You can't even order food from Nando's. No. You can't.
No, you can. I ordered it the other day.
That's crazy. That's my cameraman speak. He's as funny as a clown, and he never has a frown. He helps us on the board. Let's all record. Today we're going to be looking at my journey into teaching and how my journey has been, and obviously different routes into teaching as well. Now my journey into teaching is not as smooth as other people's journey. Since young I've always been teaching things. So that could be through my coaching, through my teaching, and I knew, as I've got my coaching qualifications, I knew that I wanted to also get my teaching qualifications. But this was brought about to my attention when I was in my final year of university, when one of the students in my class said to me, why don't you look into teaching? So since then, I started looking into teaching. When I was about to get into teaching, there were some requirements that you needed to have done. One of them was you have to have passed the skill test. Now this skill test, you only had 3 attempts. If you fail any of these skill tests, which is based on maths and English, you have to wait 2 years in order to do the skills test. So when I went for the skills test, I passed the English, fantastic. The maths, I failed the first one by 2 marks, second one by 1 mark. And remember, if you fail, you only have 3 attempts. You can't fail any of the maths or English. If I fail the last one, I have to wait 2 years. So one of my good friends, she was motivating me, telling me, go for it, go for it, go for it. And for that reason, I went for it again. And the final one, the final time I did the maths test, luckily I passed. That was the beginning of my teaching, because once I've passed that, I've already got my degree. I knew that obviously I could progress forward. Even as soon as you've got all that, where my CV was absolutely brilliant, you'd have thought, okay, I've got an opportunity. But guess what? That's not the case. After that, I was applying to so many universities. I was getting rejected. I've been all around the UK, Manchester, Buckingham, London, everywhere. They were rejecting me. And what they were telling me, you don't have enough experience. You don't have enough experience. You don't have enough experience. And obviously for me, it was disheartening, because how can I get experience without you giving me an opportunity? For that, I said, you know what? I've got my skills test. And this skill test, after passing it lasts 3 years. So I said, within that 3 years that this skill test lasts for, and I've worked so hard to pass it, I'm going to push the teaching within that 3 years. So for that reason, after university telling me I don't have experience, I said, you know what, I'm going to go out there and get experience. What I did was, one of the summer, I went abroad. I went to Poland and Czech Republic to teach. I was an English teacher. I was teaching children from there. As I went there to teach, it was really amazing. It was with a company called Angloville. Literally, it was an eye-opener. Before I went to Poland, when you listen to all the media attention on Poland, they'll tell you, oh, don't go there, it's racist, it's this and that. But when I went there, it was completely different. I was welcomed and I had an amazing time teaching them. Now when I come back, they can't tell me that I don't have experience, because now I've gone out of my comfort zone, gone to a place where a lot of my friends wouldn't go, and I went there to go and teach, and like I said, it was totally amazing. So I came back, and then I was still applying, they were still rejecting me. But what I did was, I said, you know what, if they're going to reject me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to work in a school for a year. And then if I've worked in a school for a year, they can't come around and tell me I don't have experience now, because I'm actually in the school. Luckily, I found a 1 year long-term job in a school. And this was a job as a GLSA, which is for Graduate Learning Support Assistant. I started working with a one-to-one child within a school, which I did for a year. And I really enjoyed it. But I saw myself, the next progression was to apply for my teacher training and literally get into teaching. While I was at the school, I was looking at different options. Now, if you don't know the options to get into teaching, there are 3 different options. One of them is called a PGCE, and this is Postgraduate Certificate in Education. A PGCE means you spend half of the time at university and half of the time at placement school. Also, the second option is a school direct option, which means you spend most of your time at a school for 1 year where you'll be learning on the job, and then sometimes you'll have essays or coursework you need to also fill out. The third option is a skit